We, of course, missed some, so you're going to add us. So we're obviously going to miss something. This is like total trap. It's black metal.
Welcome into another episode of Metal Forge Reviews. Today we are talking about New England black metal bands perfect for the wintertime. New England has been a great spot for black metal bands. We have woods, frost, snow, mountains, and bleak winters. What are some of your favorite black metal bands from New England? Most of ours that we're going to be talking about are from Massachusetts and Rhode Island, but we know that those aren't the only states here, so leave them down below in the comments. We're definitely going to make a playlist for you on Spotify for all these bands. You can find that in the description. Let's get started. My first band is Inhuman Form. Hailing from Boston, this band is now signed to Prosthetic Records. They recently released Rites of the Nameless. This band puts on a great live show. They are all incredibly talented players, great vocals, amazing cleans from Galen, and spectacular bass lines. I love what their bass player does with a lot of his riffing. And having a theremin in a metal band is something I've never seen before, but it's done so well, and it almost acts as like a sort of noise generator. It's not like used in the traditional theremin sense, and I think it's just super creative. Here's a clip from one of my favorite albums of theirs, Cerement. Be sure to support Inhuman Form through Bandcamp and Prosthetic Records. Brandon, what's on your list?
I'm so glad you put them on your list. They're one of my top bands, too, from this area. And every time we've seen them live, they're just absolutely killer. They did put out a record in 2020. It's amazing. Definitely check that one out. We'll link that one in the description. Do it. The next one on my list is Falls of Roros. Formed in 2005 and from Portland, Maine, Falls of Roros are easily one of the titans of the New England black metal scene. My first introduction to Falls of Roros was their 2011 release of The Light That Dwells in Rotten Wood. And that record just blew me away with the atmosphere of that album. The long compositions, the gorgeous guitar work, the gentle, organic sound of the production. I instantly fell in love with this record and this band. I've loved every record from this band for various different reasons, but my favorite is gotta be Believe in No Coming Shore. For all of my drives up the New England coastline, long hikes in the woods and along the ocean, that record just perfectly captures every possible introspective emotion you could have with yourself during those moments. I've seen Falls of Roros live many times. They always kill it with the raw performance and emotion. They're super nice guys too, and intensely passionate about their craft. Here's a clip from Banished from the record The Light That Dwells Within Rotten Wood. You could support Falls of Roros on their Bandcamp page. They're most likely sold out of vinyl because most of their records are probably collectible by now. But you could probably find a CD or shirts or things like that. Definitely pick something up. These guys are freaking great. Ben, what's your next pick?
Great pick with Falls of Roros. I knew that they were going to make it onto our short list here. My next one is Inhuman Form. This band hails from Lowell, Massachusetts, and they are currently signed to Voidhanger Records. They most recently released the album 3, which came out at the end of December 2019. This band is another band that we've shared the stage with a bunch of times and have seen a bunch of times just playing throughout the scene. And man, they're just so different and unique. This is progressive jazz-inspired black metal. Nick Clark, one of the main songwriters of the band, is actually a really talented alto sax player. They have incredibly catchy songs and melodies, introspective lyrics, and mind-numbing syncopation. This is just a band that you just put on and you wouldn't expect to have an earworm walking away from because the music is so complex, but I always find myself humming melodies days after listening to some of these albums. Getting to know this band and seeing them live has been a real treat because they're so tight. My favorite album from them is their first album, Earth and Urn. It's a tough choice though because they really are all exceptional and unique in their own way. Here's a clip from a song off of Earth and Urn. I hope that you will consider supporting Inhuman Form through their Bandcamp and iVoidhanger record. This is a band that we've been wanting to talk about, but we just haven't found the right time. I'm glad that we're talking about these guys because they are absolutely worthy of your attention and your ears. Brendan, what do you got?
That's a great pick, Ben. I've been a huge fan of those guys for a long time, and we've shared the stage with them a few times, and they've always just blown my mind and made me feel like I should probably just not play guitar anymore because they're just that good. The next one on my list is Obsidian Tongue. Big surprise. Huge Obsidian Tongue fans on this channel. Easily one of the most respected black metal bands in the New England area, Obsidian Tongue have been perfecting their craft since 2009. An atmospheric black metal band at its core, Obsidian Tongue explore a different side of black metal with intense introspection, emotion, traversing dream worlds, and obviously nature, because that's just what black metal always does. Founded by lead composer and overall maestro Brendan Hayter, Obsidian Tongue have released 3 full lengths since their 2012 release of Volume 1, Subradiant Architecture. One thing I've always loved about this band is the exploration of the psychedelic sounds within the black metal realm. It's obvious even in the early compositions of the band that Brendan has a deep love for the psychedelic and progressive music, and it shows even more throughout the band's discography. Their second record, A Nest of Ravens and the Throat of Time, was an amazing sophomore debut that ultimately led to the epic tale that was 2020's release of Volume 3. Mixed and mastered by mastermind Dave Kaminsky of Studio Wormwood, you can tell that the band is on to something extremely special with the sound that was developed on Volume 3. Check out a review of Volume 3. We'll link that in the description. We go more in detail about the discussion of the record. Here's a clip from Volume 3, Return to the Fields of Violet. You can support Obsidian Tongue on the Bind Rune Recordings web store where they have vinyl available. The album is meant to be enjoyed in that format, which is just in its entirety. Ben, what's your next pick?
I don't know how we couldn't talk about Obsidian Tongue on this pick, man, on this list. They are an amazing band, a staple in the New England black metal scene for sure. Shout out to you, Brendan, for doing all the hard work and awesome songwriting that you've been doing. My last pick here is Nocus. Hailing from Framingham, Massachusetts, it is a blackened thrash metal sort of band. It is the brainchild of Ruben Anani. Brandon, you were actually one of the bass players for a bit in that band. Their music is fun and great to headbang to. It is, I don't know, they're kind of tough to categorize, but it's just a great time seeing them live. This is another band that puts on just a fantastic live show. You can expect some super long, flowing red hair from vocalist and guitarist Ruben. They have 2 EPs and a full-length album. As far as I know, they were on Wormwood Records, but I believe that label is now defunct, so who knows what they're doing. Either way, they could definitely release something independently, and it would go over very well. These guys are unique, and we share friendships and stages with these guys quite often. Here is one of my favorite songs off of their EP, End. support Nocus through their Bandcamp. They are definitely worth putting on your radar.
Before we get to our last pick, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you want to see more metal reviews in the form of top lists, the best of the metal underground, reactions, and interviews, hit us up on our socials, leave a comment. We love to hear about what you're listening to and suggestions from our viewers. Hit that notification button so that you never miss a video. Let's get to our last pick. Our last one here is Zonga. One of my favorite things in music is when a band isn't afraid to lean into a narrative for a concept of a record. Zonga are an atmospheric black/folk metal band from New England, and with their sound, you would never guess that they're from America. Formed in 2016, it's pretty mind-blowing how developed the band's sound is and how quickly a label picked them up. They've released 3 full lengths since 2016, which is crazy, and all of them dealing with various mythological stories, folklore, and nature. The band is not afraid to lean into the folk influences, and you can see the progression of the band into better and better production throughout their discography. The Sachem Tales, released in 2017, is somewhat of a collectible album nowadays, and their follow-up 2020 release of Thunder in the Mountains was a mind-blowing record released on Avant-Garde Music. It's amazing what this band has done in such a short time. I can't wait to see what more they do in the years to come. You can check out our full review of Thunder in the Mountains in the link in the description. Here's a clip from that record, the song of Hiawatha. You could support Zonga on their Bandcamp page. Definitely pick up their latest record. It's phenomenal. Some of the best atmospheric black metal that I have heard this year.
Great pick on that one, Brandon. A perfect album and band to close it out with. Song of Hiawatha, incredible. Thunder in the Mountains is awesome. That album is absolutely worth putting on your radar, folks, if you haven't heard them already.
That does it for our best of New England black metal bands. We, of course, missed some, so don't by any means. You're going to add us. So we're obviously going to miss something. This is like total trap. It's black metal, and we're picking albums that and bands that. So I'm just, whatever, it's fine. We, of course, probably missed some. What are some of your favorites? Leave them below. Let us know. Thank you again for watching. We cannot do this without you. Thank you for your support. Take care.